If you can give a student a superpower, right, as they progress to and through college, what would that superpower be and why?
If I could do like a slash, it would be like self-belief
Okay.
slash self-empowerment, if that all makes sense. The reason why I think honestly is just because we all go through those, but we've all been to college and we can see how it can be a roller coaster at times. And just being able to have that self-confidence and being able to motivate yourself, push yourself to go through it, I think that's something that we all need as a superpower in life in general.
Yeah.
But just going through college, we know that it can be uncertain, and that's the best thing about it. A lot of great things on the other end of that
So
uncertainty.
true. Hello, I want to welcome you all back to season 4. Let me repeat that again. Season 4 of How to Play the Game of College, y'all. I'm so excited about this season. I can't believe it's been 4 seasons, but we're super just blessed to have so many great guests, great conversation about all things post-secondary. And today, y'all, I feel like this is my little brother, my mentee, man, Mr. William Robinson. How you doing today, my guy?
I'm doing good, man. I cannot complain. All is well. Blessed.
Good stuff,
What?
man. Good stuff. So, again, super excited to have you on the podcast. Mr. Robinson is the coordinator for admissions and just outreach and all those great things at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. So, I'm going to pause right there, William. I feel like I'm not doing you justice, man. I know husband, man, you mentee, man. You just do so many great things in our community. So, I'm going to stop right here, man, and just have you to give a high level overview of just,
Yeah.
man, your day to day.
Yeah, my name is as Dr. Boyd said, William Robinson, originally from Greenwood, Mississippi. That's correct. The heart of the Delta. I moved to Memphis after graduating from Rush College freshman time. And I actually started working in sales. So I started at Enterprise Rent a Car. After working with Enterprise for a few years, I transitioned to working at Southwest Tennessee Community College, where me and Dr.
Yeah.
Boyd crossed paths there.
Yeah.
And from there, it was really my opportunity to really get my foot in the door. I was told at college that, hey, you have a passion for students. I could see it already, and I was like, yeah, it's not there. I want to go into sales. But like I really kind of as I progressed and grew, I knew that that was the path for me. So after that, working at Southwest, connecting with a lot of those students, getting the passion, hearing their passion for education and where they want to go in life, really kind of pushed me more into that light. So I transitioned to UT Knox, where I am
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
Working with students, not just that look just like me, but that come from all walks of life. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. Well, again, thank you for all you do for students. I know we'll get a little bit more deeper into your passion, purpose around student success during this interview. This season, man, I'm starting off with a question for all of my guests. If you can give a student a superpower, right, as they progress to and through college, what would that superpower be and why?
If I could do like a slash, it would be like self-belief
Okay.
slash self-empowerment, if that all makes sense. The reason why I think honestly is just because we all go through those, but we've all been to college and we can see how it can be a roller coaster at times. And just being able to have that self-confidence and being able to motivate yourself, push yourself to go through it, I think that that's something that we all need as a superpower in life in general.
Yeah.
But just going through college, we know that it can be uncertain, and that's the best thing about it. A lot of great things on the other end of that
So
uncertainty.
true. So true. Man, it's funny. I think you heard one of my other interviews this season, man. We were just talking about sometimes the uncomfortable is where
Mhm.
most of the magic happens. But it's so funny, man, how people run from, things they're not familiar with, or if it looks a little scary, man, they'll go with the comfort, but we never know what the uncomfortable will
Yep.
bring us, man. And so I'm glad that you called that out. And I think that's a big part of college success. A lot of times we don't know how it's gonna look. We don't, we're not guaranteed a job after college even, but
Mhm.
there's so much that comes with just, the whole circle when it comes to post-secondary, getting a degree, right? But also the many things that you learn outside of the classroom, man. So very important. So thank you for
Yeah.
saying that, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess if, as you just mentioned, I know you worked at many different types of
Mhm.
institution. And in my book, man, How to Play the Game of College, I have a whole chapter
Mhm.
dedicated to how to select the right college, right? I know you deal with a lot of students in more the recruitment role and just talking to
Yeah.
students and really serving as the external person for your particular position,
Yeah.
what advice would you give a high school senior or junior that might be thinking about going to college and they're kind of confused? Like, hey, do I go to HBCU? Do I go to community college, technical? There's so many options out here. What advice would
Mm.
you give to that student?
I'm gonna give this advice to the student and the parent. It's
Yeah.
exposure. Like exposure is key.
Okay.
I think the biggest portion of me like growing up was being a part of like those Gear Up programs in
Okay.
Mississippi that
Yeah.
gave me the opportunity to go to those colleges and get that exposure, see what classes is like, see what it feels like to live on college campuses. That started when I was in 10th grade. So like from that introduction from my 10th grade year on up made a huge difference in like how I view college, me wanting to go to college. I know that's not going to be the same for everybody, but the exposure matters and just being exposed to all type of different colleges. So as you mentioned and your book mentions as well, you have trade colleges. A four-year institution may not be the best for everybody. So they may need to go that trade route or they may need to go the 2-year route, whatever works, but they need to be exposed to all of it. I was just having a conversation with someone the other day and they were telling me, well, I got 2 degrees and I feel like college is not necessary. And I'm like,
Mhm.
don't say that to anybody else and don't say that publicly because
Yeah, yeah.
honestly, you go and say that and he rebutted that by saying, well, I got a certificate and it works just fine. That's still a part of the college process.
Yeah, so
And we
true.
have to understand us saying vaguely that we don't think college is worth it
Mhm.
is damaging not just to us but generations that's coming behind us, because if we don't, I mean, if we continue to say things like that, it's going to just deter people away from getting that education.
So true, so true. And again, I love how you're saying, post-secondary looks so different in 2025. I'm not aging myself, man, but I know back in the day, it was you graduate from high school, you go to
Yeah.
college, and usually it was a 4-year college. Like
Hmm.
back then you didn't really promote this. They would call it junior college, now
Yeah.
community
Yeah.
college. It was kind of seen as, hey, you couldn't get into a 4-year. However, today, man, you have so many different programs, right? You got, like you said, trade, you got community, you got different types of 4-year
Yeah.
institutions. So college fit, man, I talk about, of course, that in the book, is the foundation, man, to get
Yeah.
you to where you need to get to. And like you said, exposure, tours, if somebody's doing, I know at UT Knox, you used to do like a bus trip where students could come. And,
Mhm.
sometimes students are like, I'm not going to that school, but it's more important to get the experience, right? And
Yeah.
you just never know. Like, that's how I got to MTSU, man. I was literally going to UT Chat and I stopped
Yeah.
at MTSU just to be stopping. And guess what? Fell in love with it.
You liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, fell in love with it.
That's true. I mean,
Yeah,
and that's the thing, exposure. I mean, like, take advantage of those opportunities
yeah.
because a lot of them, as you see now, are being stripped from us. Not trying to get
Mhm.
too political, but
Yeah.
a lot of those are being stripped from the opportunity for you to go for free. To
Right.
get like Dr. Boyd said, that trip that we offer that takes the students across the state.
Mhm.
That's a
Mhm.
6-hour drive that a lot of parents don't have the opportunity to do. So if you get that opportunity based off your academics, your accolades in high school, go for it.
So true, so true. Man, as we continue, like you said, especially in 2025, you kind of mentioned this in your previous response, the value of college,
Mhm.
right? The value of education. When we talking to students now, we're competing in the post-secondary space. Now you got content creators, you got
Mhm.
just everything you could think of, that you can make money for playing video games, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And for a student that sees that now, especially when we look at maybe a first gen student that, hey, or come from a, low economic background and you're making thousands of dollars on YouTube, it's
Mhm.
hard to sometimes push delayed gratification when it
Yeah.
comes to post-secondary. What would you say to that student who might be, we're talking about college types, that's one student, but it could be
Yeah.
the other student who, hey, is college for me? Like, I need to wait 4 years. I'm broke.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
need to make
Yeah.
some money and make money now. What would you say to that student?
I wouldn't shoot that down. I had a student like this when I was working at Southwest. She was dead set on going into the like to the factory. She was like,
Okay.
my family's there, they make good money. I'm going there. I don't want to go to college. And I'm like, that's totally fine. But
Yeah.
what happens when you get tired? What happens
Right.
when you want to spend that money that you make and like you really want to enjoy it? What happens when you have burnout? Because let's just be real, like in life, burnout is real. And I mean, like it's more evident now. People are speaking to it more. And so, like,
Right.
I had to base that on there. So, my advice to her was honestly, yeah, definitely go. But what job are you going to? Or do they offer any educational assistance? because that educational assistance could help you pay for college. A lot of the times, when you really get down to the nitty gritty of why people don't want to go to college, it's the fact
Right.
of the fear of debt. They
Mhm.
don't want to go into debt. And
Mhm.
so honestly, if we can tackle that by, okay, well, you don't want to go into debt. Well, hey, you want to go into workforce, you want to make money right now. That's great. Well, hey,
Right.
maybe FedEx offers a tuition reimbursement for you that could give you that opportunity to work and still go to school. So that way you're not paying really much out of pocket for it.
So true, so true. And I like how you said I mean, that's a real thing, man. So many times people, especially if you come from money or you're at a place where you can say, well, just wait. But
Yep.
you're paying all your
Hmm.
bills and you're eating what you
Yep.
want to eat and traveling where you want to travel. But to someone, and we've been in that space where you're talking to different types of students, man. And I love how you're giving folks different paths, options.
Yep.
So hey, if you do want to go to the workforce, maybe find out if they do have type of assistance to kind of help with your
Yep.
college space. Or now, in certain states like Tennessee, you can go to trade school for free for the most part,
Yep.
or community college, or scholarships. Any other tips that you can give students when it comes to financing post secondary?
Yeah, definitely just the basic would be just looking on the internet. Like, don't I know it's so much out there.
Yep.
Use Chat GPT to kind of help you guide your questions if you need
Hmm.
to.
Hmm.
But definitely start off based off of like web and then go to like those major corporations. Don't forget about that. Like, I know you think that you may be out of the loop. If that's not a case for you, you still got work study that's out there for you where you can actually get a certain portion that's paid that goes through the federal government
Yeah. Yeah.
also.
So true.
You have Pell Grant that's still out there. So guys, that's why it's really important to make sure we're completing the FAFSA on time.
Yeah.
So that way we can get the best dollars and we're not getting the scrapes of the bottom of the pan at the end. So it's important to fill out that FAFSA. And likewise with other grants and opportunities that's out here for you. If you're thinking about going to that after the level of your post-secondary, you want to go to the master level, there are grant opportunities out here that are fun you to go. There are institutional dollars where people are donating money just to the institution to go directly to this student. I went to Russ College, and so I'm fortunate. Dr. Lorenzo Esters, he
Yeah.
was actually
Yeah.
from Greenwood, Mississippi as well. He had a scholarship for a student from Greenwood, Mississippi that had above a 2.9. It was very specific, but I
Wow.
was the only
Yeah.
student from Greenwood at that time, and I got that scholarship. So
Man.
don't be afraid to go beat down the doors of the financial aid and ask them what scholarships are available. Are they anybody? Is there anybody here that's offering scholarships? Do I fit any of those criteria?
Mhm.
Because it matters. Like, closed mouths don't get fed. We hear that all the time.
So true, man. That's some great, great nuggets that you just dropped there. And again, research, again, going back to exposure and, really just getting, even your FAFSA application completed in time.
Yeah.
All of those tips, man, really help when we're considering post-secondary. So thank you for calling those things out.
Yep.
So as we look at, I know you again work with a lot of incoming students, right? And when students get there, that's another battle to keep them in school, right? So,
Yeah.
it's called the honeymoon stage, right? When you get the
Hmm.
orientation and you got your t-shirt, you're
Yeah.
going to class the first 3 weeks straight, you're on time. But after Labor Day, it kind of hits you like, wow, I got 4 years to do this. I got to
Yeah.
do this 5 times a day. I got to study. I got all these other things going on. Many people are working. What are some of the common, I guess, challenges that you see where students, get caught up in that could cause them to stump out a post-secondary institution?
Yeah, they're still suffering from celiacitis.
Okay.
I say that a lot. It's hard. I admit I was at that point. It's kind of hard to get back in a groove of like doing work when you haven't been doing it. And I mean, let's say what 4 or 5 months, honestly,
Right.
because you like you're senior, you're not really doing anything those last few months, so you kind of like coasting. So like getting back out of that senioritis, I think
Mhm.
that's been an issue. Finding a good community,
Okay.
like it is so important. And I mean, Dr. Boyd, I've heard you talk about this several times, and I have to hit on it as well. Like that building that community makes a total difference.
Mhm.
May it be like with a group of friends, may it be
Yeah.
like people that stay off campus, may it be people that's back home, may it be just people that like you keep in contact with. Like having a good community to push you and motivate you, it'll help you. And I see a lot of people that just don't normally have that community.
So true.
And finding and I'm gonna say this, but this may sound like it's the same thing, but
Yeah.
having a safe space as well.
Mhm.
Like you have to have that community, but you also have somebody that's safe for you to go and talk to. Because Yes, let's be honest, life happens. Like it happens, and we have to have that person that kind of grounds us, brings
Right.
us back into level like, hey, you got this, you're here.
So
Yes, I
true.
know all this is going on, but hey,
Mhm.
let's pull it together and let's channel that energy so we can do what we got to do.
Man, we could drop the mic literally right there. Again, that circle is so important. I like how you said accountability. I know we both talk to a lot of students about that. You know, everybody can't come along with you on the journey, the next step,
Mhm.
right? There's some stops along the
Yeah,
way, and sometimes high school are your friends stop. There's nothing wrong with them. Hey, I could speak
it's
to you.
true.
We can talk here and there, but on the next step, I may need to get another group of
Yeah.
friends or accountability circle that's gonna get me to the degree, and then it may stop
Mhm.
there, and that's okay. Lesson I had to learn, man,
Yeah,
at
that's
my
true
old
though. That's
age.
true.
But man, so very important. I like how you really called that out. And I know, William, you have worked with me, man. I like how you said circle. I think the importance of mentorship is so
Mhm.
key, right? Now you
Yeah.
just never know where it can lead you. I know you mentioned earlier I met you. You worked on my team at Southwest,
Mhm.
but we've been connected since then. I don't know how many
Yeah.
years, what 6, 7 years maybe. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
it's about 7 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think I left around the pandemic 2020. And
Mhm.
you've been even in my new work with my own company, man, have been very instrumental in just helping to develop some of that and traveling with me and different things here and there. What has mentorship meant to you? I talk about that in the book.
Mm.
We as we talk about a circle, how are mentors important to students in that next step or that journey?
Yeah, when I think about a mentor, I think about the phrase that your life or your story can be someone else's survival guide. The reason I say that is because when you do look at a mentor, it's just like when you're driving and you're going somewhere you don't know where you're going.
So
You look
true.
up the GPS, and the
Yeah.
GPS tell you turn left in 1.8 miles, and you know to turn left right then and there. And like that's what you look for out of the mentor.
Yeah.
Somebody that's gonna guide you, that's gonna direct you, that's gonna hold you accountable as well, but ultimately that's going to guide you in the right direction.
Right.
They know what your values are. They know what you're looking for. They see the potential in you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's important, honestly.
So true, man. Again, mentorship has saved my life, man. And I tell people, all the time, pretty much what you just said. Even in my old age now, man, I have folks that I go to that number one, I know want me to win, right? Number one. Number
Mhm.
two, sometimes they're going to give me that hard pill to swallow, and that's why I do go to them because I never know it's no hurt associated with it, or they're
Yeah.
kind of wanting me to lose in the situations. Always, I want you to win, but I'm gonna give you
Yep.
both
Yep.
sides of the coin, and I want you to think
Hmm.
through it. And last but not least, I think mentorship is a two-way street, right? I
Hmm.
know growing up, man, I always was, I always tell, especially